Swearing doesn't mean a person is uneducated or has no manner. Not swearing doesn't make you a gentleman, and swearing doesn't make you an uneducated person. It depends on the settings in which you are swearing. I just hate people noticing someone swearing and be like, oh, that guy is so uneducated, how could he swear? Just mind your own fucking business. It is totally acceptable to swear in a normal conversation or when you are pissed or emotional. Only swearing at the wrong time or in the wrong place makes you impolite or look uneducated, e.g. in a conference, in the general public, loudly, in front of your clients, or when talking to a complete stranger. And also criticizing someone for cursing in a completely acceptable and understandable situation doesn't make you nobler. I had no idea that this was even a belief, tbh. Whilst studying my psychology degree, we looked at research that showed people who swear more typically have higher IQs and a wider vocabulary than those who don't, although there are obviously exceptions on both sides. https://youtube.b/s_oskvkanairm. The sort of twee person who thinks swearing is in any way a sign of a lack of education or a lack of verbal interest is just a fucking lunatic. Stephen Fry. In the UK, it's pretty much just part of everyone's dialect. Never realized it was such a big deal in other countries. It's simply how it's done. In my perspective, it's an exaggerator. Spelling: if I say to my wife, this sandwich is good, she's like, yup. If I say this sandwich is fucking good, she's like, oh, he does really like it. Etc. etc. Someone who is stupid or fucking stupid. It's all in the delivery. If I said this line is fucking long, it appears a bit crass, but fuck, this line is really long seems a lot less crass. It does seem trashy in certain situations. I agree, but doing it excessively or using it in inappropriate social situations makes you seem unintelligent and / or trashy. The idea that no gentleman ever swears is all wrong. He can swear and still be a gentleman if he does it in a nice and benevolent and affectionate way. Mark Twain, Private and Public Morals Speech, 1906. There are many studies that people who swear more are more honest. But I don't know if I believe that fucking shit. Swearing means we can cope with pain much better than others. There's been psychological tests. Swearing relieves pain faster. https://www. Wired.com/story/the science of why swearing physically reduces pain / Yeah, I've always had a hard time understanding why so many people are offended by it. I find it's generally religious folks who push some of their odd morals on the rest of the world. Swear words are only bad because at some point someone said they were, and we are all just following that ideology. How is there actually a difference between poop, crap and shit? It's so ridiculous to me, and just another way the church tries to control everyone. People tend to forget that you fucking idiot has a completely different tone than you idiot. Conversely, swearing doesn't make something funny, either. Several comedy sketches, funny videos and stand-up comedians come to mind. Smarter people actually tend to swear more often. The sort of twee person who thinks swearing is in any way a sign of a lack of education or a lack of verbal interest is just a fucking lunatic. Stephen Fry. Makes you less professional in a professional setting. It also devalues your argument if you're in a serious debate. Curse words are not powerful words and are not needed in serious debate or dialogue. It doesn't mean you're uneducated, but people who say fuck or fuck in every third word just sound annoying. I hate listening to these people talk. Oh fuck, my stupid fucking car won't fucking start. Fuck. Swearing is a great form of expression. How else can you pass on the feeling that you're fucking pissed off? Fuck is way better than I'm so mad. Flushed face, I can't believe you would use the F word. I'm going to use my shock as an excuse to completely ignore the point you're making and insulate my mind from the possibility of being shown to be wrong. Face with steam from nose. I agree, 100%. But using words like smol and burb? Different story altogether. Winky. Well, scientists curse. Like, a lot. It's all down to context. I swear when it's appropriate. I work in education. Swearing is expressive and shows a great command of language, but again when used in context. If a person is using it every other word for no reason is where I draw the line. Like, fucking the other fucking day that fucking bitch over at that fucking store down by that one fucking place. Shit like that. I don't get why you think it's bad manners to swear in some situations but not others. Just seems you've chosen a different point to be offended at for some arbitrary reason. Met. It often does make the person look trashy and uneducated. It is what it is. I think it's more a matter of swearing indicating that a person is at the time unable to handle their emotions and act civil rather than a lack of intelligence. Don't get me wrong, our emotion gets the better of all of us on occasion, and I think that in the privacy of one's home you are free to freak out however you like, but let's be honest here, out in public there are other people and there are ways of venting one's frustration that doesn't involve swearing, so people who do swear on a regular basis show little self-control. Of course a lot of this is situational obviously. I won't fault a person for swearing in public if I don't know their wallet was stolen or they just found out they were cheated on, but I will fault someone for swearing in public over minor inconveniences. Just grow up, suck it up and deal with it like an adult, not a child. It's been my experience that a whole lot of that depends on where and what social circles a person grew up in. I had a doctor who swore all the time and it used to make me laugh. He was probably near 60, had a superb steel trap mind to remember anything, hence a great doctor, but he'd say something like, "And you don't want to get the disease because it's a motherfucker, or these salesmen are always here with some bullshit products but this one is good." I was told he came straight out of an old school fishing village family. I know that area and that is just how they talk. They wouldn't even know they were using foul language because it's so inherent, so this is how it seems to be. If you listen to someone like Dr. Jordan Peterson, you can easily hear someone who grew up in a small rural working class, hunting, sort of life who could not change that northern Alberta way of speaking but who modified it for, well you know, professors in lectures and then those on TV shows. So you'll hear him say things like, "And let me tell ya, they won't give a gosh damn what the hell you think," and, "like I give a flying. A flying you know what." So he cannot stop or remove it, he can just kind of replace what is his family, his friends, his townspeople's way of speaking entrenched in his being. As for people being smart, intelligent, educated and all that bullshit, you will find the best of them are plain spoken and they will use foul language if and when they understand it best communicates an idea. They just won't rely on it. By the way, that is where some people do go wrong, when they can't think something through and just rely on foul blurts and noises. By the way, there are studies on this kind of thing, DuckDuckGo them if you want, but for one example. Most might be very surprised to learn that the way a Cockney dock worker spoke was as complex, as nuanced, had as many bits of information, as many codes, as large of a working vocabulary, and let's say as sophisticated as Oxford University's top scholars and their parlance. Sound crazy? No way. But linguists can actually show that, and yes, it includes using foul words. The Oxford master may very well use wholly preposterous and rings hollow and a quagmire of overwrought assertions. vs. the dock worker, and I don't know Cockney so I will make up a generic one, but the dock worker can convey "fuck that shit" and "he's talking shit" and "it's a clusterfuck of bullshit." The dock worker has communicated just as much information with just as much context, social textures, just as much information in just the same levels of nuance or specificity with just as much emotional sense as the Oxford scholar to another scholar. Count for count, rig for rig, part for part, target for target, data byte for data byte, they are actually both equally sophisticated machines side by side. Oh, and the Oxford scholar raised in the Oxford world and family would not be good at using the dock worker's foul words because, here again, they require a skilled way, tones, where and when they are used properly, yes, properly, the proper way, they would not use them at the right times or places, etc. Conversely, the dock worker could memorize paradigm shift and dubious attributes but would have trouble using them appropriately, in the right times, with the specific tone and twists to be useful. TD, LR fuck that, language is different and shit but that's fine.